Welcome, boils and ghouls. I said, welcome, boils and ghouls. Damn it, Donnie, that's your cue.
What? Sorry.
Welcome,
You already said that.
Welcome, boils and ghouls. I'm your foul host, Rickety Rooster, and
Hi, I'm Donnie.
Just roll the intro.
Midnight Monster Movie Review!
He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. No, it's not your creepy drunk uncle on Christmas Eve, although that is terrifying. It's Freddy Mother Krueger. That's right, A Nightmare on Elm Street, a film that traumatized bedtime for a whole generation of 80s kids and made nightmares even more frightening. You know, 'cause they can kill you.
Nightmares can kill you?
Well, yes, nightmares can kill you in the movie.
I don't think I'm gonna like this movie.
Well, too bad, 'cause we're watching it anyway. Roll it. The movie opens on a workshop, a damp, dark, dirty workshop. And it seems someone is creating some sort of invention.
Oh, maybe it's a new type of back scratcher?
Maybe you're right, Donnie. Oh, no, it's a f***ing deathclaw. We cut to a teenage girl, and it seems she is being stalked by someone. But who? Oh, it's Lamb Chop. This game of cat and mouse continues as the opening credits roll. Freddy gives Tina a little foreplay. But he must have hit the wrong spot, 'cause she goes running for her life. I guess you can call that running. But this is prime time, bitch, and Freddy pounces from the shadows. Literally scared awake, Tina is clearly shaken from her horrible nightmare. Luckily, her mother is there to check in on her. But she seems more concerned with her personal grooming and getting back to f***ing this guy. Next, we meet Tina's friends, Nancy and Glenn, on their way to school the next morning. Tina tells them all about her bad dream. Then we meet her boyfriend, Rod. And I know what you're thinking. Is that a young? Yes, that is in fact a young juicy carrot. It's nighttime now. That means school is out. And so is Tina's mom. Looks like it's time to throw a good old-fashioned 80s teen party. Or it's just time for a sleepover. Anyway, after Glenn proves he doesn't know how to use a cassette player, I guess he's still listening to 8 tracks. Tina and Nancy discover they may be having the same dream.
You dreamed about the same creep I did.
Suddenly, the gang is spooked by a noise outside.
What?
Nothing.
There's something out there, isn't there? I didn't hear anything. Well, I heard something.
Which turns out to be this dude again, and he's just f***ing with him. Tina and Rod retreat to spend some quality time alone.
We got our mother's bed. You guys got the rest.
Seeing that Tina is going to be getting a little Rod, Glenn wants to give his to Nancy. But Nancy says, "F*** that shit, I'm the final girl," and she shuts him down. Later we see Tina's stalker has returned. Also, we get this cool shot proving again practical effects are the way to go. 2010 remake. Tina goes outside to face down her creepy admirer, where we get another awesome shot of Freddy going full stretch Armstrong, freakishly stretching out his arms, blocking Tina's way.
Please, God.
That is followed up by this scene, which always makes me laugh. I mean, look at him. Did he shrink? Is he Benjamin Buttoning? He looks strangely smaller and less threatening. And the way he runs, seriously, he looks like a 10-year-old on Halloween night. Anyway, Freddy wants to show Tina a little trick and give her a couple of fingers. But Tina says, "No thanks, I've already been fingered once tonight," and gets the fuck out of there. This upsets Freddy, and he goes full Harvey Weinstein on her ass. And then this scene, which again is still done better than the remake. Whoa, Donnie. You know, you're right. I guess you could call that a back scratcher. Too bad for Tina, though. Freddy's a little rough. Now to the police station, where we learn that Tina's boyfriend, Rod, is the prime suspect in her murder. Also, we see that this is Nancy's dad, and this is Nancy's mom, and they both clearly have a healthy relationship.
Hello to you too, Donald.
Marge.
Dad is pissed and wants to know why his daughter was spending the night with two boys. Nancy explains that Tina had a dream this was going to happen, and that was the reason they had stayed with her that night. It's morning now, and Nancy's mom knows there's no better way to start your day than with a screwdriver. But Mom says, "F the orange juice and go straight to the vodka." Nancy heads off to school, where along the way is kidnapped. Oh no, wait, it's just this dude again. Nancy questions Rod about what happened that night. But Rod doesn't like her attitude, and does the most rational thing to do when you're the prime suspect in a murder case. You go around threatening the sheriff's daughter.
Like I'm some fucking fruitcake or something. I'm warning you.
Just move away from us, son.
But hold up, Nancy's dad ain't having none of that shit. Seems this was a sting operation, and Nancy's dad was using her as bait. And while Rod is heading to the slammer, Nancy is headed to class. And that shit must be boring, 'cause Nancy is already starting to nod off. But what's this? It's Tina, and she's looking freaky as fuck. Like any good horror movie character, Nancy follows the trail of blood, all the way down into the boiler room.
Tina?
Now that Freddy has her where he wants her, he's going to show her what he's made of, which is apparently Nickelodeon slime and mealworms. This triggers Nancy's PTSD from being a contestant on Double Dare, and she splits, only to find herself at a dead end. With nowhere to run, Freddy closes in. And Nancy, for some reason, has the idea to do this, which, luckily for her, works, and she awakes in class. Her teacher says she will call her mother, but Nancy says, "Nah, I'll just go straight home." You know, 'cause we could all just get up and leave school whenever we wanted. Anyway, on her way out, she notices that when she burned her arm in her dream, it burned her arm in real life. And completely lying to her teacher, Nancy doesn't go straight home, but instead goes to see Rod, who is now locked safely away in his jail cell. Here she learns that Rod apparently had a threesome with Tina in The Invisible Man.
It was dark, but I'm sure there was somebody in there, under the covers with her.
How could somebody be under the covers with you guys without you knowing about it?
Also, Rod has been having strange dreams also.
But I thought it was just another nightmare. Like the one I had the night before. There was this guy. He had knives for fingers.
Back home, it's time to relax. And what a better way than with a bubble bath. Oh, for fuck's sakes, Freddy, really? First you ruined bedtime, now you go and ruin bath time too? After almost drowning to the hands of Freddy, Nancy knows just what to do. Caffeine and horror movies. My kind of girl. Wait, is that Bruce Campbell? A little movie trivia fact. Apparently Wes Craven and Sam Raimi had a running gag between the two. In Evil Dead, a torn poster for The Hills Have Eyes can be seen. Wes then had Nancy watching The Evil Dead in this scene of A Nightmare on Elm Street, which then led Raimi to put Freddy's glove in The Evil Dead 2. But it doesn't stop there. Years later in Scream, one of the movie choices to pick from at the third act bloodbath is Evil Dead. Finally, Freddy's glove shows up again in Ash vs. Evil Dead. Okay, back to the movie. Glenn climbs up to Nancy's window, looking for a little PG-13 relationship. But Nancy cock blocks him again, and instead she's got a job for him.
I've got a crazy favor to ask you. It's nothing hard or anything. I'm gonna go and look for somebody. And I want you to stand like a sort of a guard, okay?
The movie's rules get a little confusing here, seeing as this is supposed to be Nancy's dream, but she can somehow call to Glenn to make sure he's still watching.
Are you still watching?
To which Glenn pops out from behind a tree, but does that mean Glenn is already asleep and has somehow entered Nancy's dream? A power that isn't introduced till A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Or can Nancy communicate with people while she's asleep? I don't know. Anyway, Nancy makes her way to the jail cell to check in on Rod. And it seems so is Freddy. But don't worry, he just came to tuck him in. And oh shit, Tina's back. Looking even more freakish this time. Spitting out centipedes and shitting out eels? Ugh. Freddy chases Nancy home as she desperately tries to make it back to her room and to Glenn. Too bad for her, the stairs are now made of Quaker oatmeal. Yuck. Nancy reaches her bedroom, where we now see that Glenn has indeed fallen asleep. Freddy busts through the door and shows Nancy that he disapproves of her choice in a feather pillow. Freddy's more of a tempered foam kind of guy. The two tussle until Nancy is luckily awakened by her alarm clock. Unlucky for Glenn, this means another night of blue balls.
Glenn, you bastard.
What'd I do?
The two then head off to the jail to check back in on Rod, who is either packing a python or Freddy is up to his shenanigans. Again, the rules of the dream world are confusing, seeing that Rod is asleep but the sheets appear to be operating in the real world, but suspension of disbelief. Freddy hangs Rod just before Nancy and the gang can reach him. Cleverly, instead of slicing and dicing, Freddy kills Rod in a way that makes it appear to be a suicide. Now to the cemetery to bury Rod. And let me say, if there was ever a time for this dude to just pop up, this would be it. No? Okay. Nancy describes the man of her dreams to her parents.
But he's burned. And he wears a weird hat. And a red and green sweater, really dirty. And he uses these knives, like giant fingernails.
And it seems they may be hiding something. Dad says to take her home, but Mom has something better in mind.
I'm going to get her some help.
Which means it's off to the dream clinic. Here they hook Nancy up to monitors to test her brain waves, and more importantly, those pesky chin waves while she sleeps. Everything seems normal.
She's about 3.
Until Freddy turns that shit up to an 11.
Doctor, what's she doing now? Is she asleep or awake?
Something's wrong. It never gets this high.
What's she doing? Is she dreaming?
Nancy comes to, now sporting a new hairdo and a few nasty cuts. Also, she learns she can pull things out of her dream.
I brought something out from my dream.
Back home, Nancy seems a little stressed.
Or maybe I should grab that bottle and veg out with you. Avoid everything happening to me by just getting good and loaded.
But I guess lack of sleep and a crazy serial killer trying to murder you in your dreams can do that to a person. Whoa, Nancy ain't taking no more shit. Now to the park, where we learn about the Balinese way of dreaming.
They get all their art and literature from dreams. Just wake up and write it down. Dream skills.
What if they meet a monster in their dreams? Then what?
They turn their back on it, take away its energy, and it disappears.
But what happens if they don't do that?
Well, then I guess those people don't wake up to tell what happens.
Also, I think I know why Nancy keeps shutting Glenn down. I mean, look at him. He doesn't even offer her a french fry. Pfft. Nancy returns home to see that her mom has locked that shit down like Alcatraz. Nancy's mom takes her down into the cellar and tells her all about the time her and her friends got together and burned a man to death. Ah, memories. Also, she even kept a little souvenir. You would think at some point her parents would question how Nancy would know anything about Freddy. You know, what he looks like, his weapon of choice. And maybe, just maybe, he has returned to kill again in dreams. But nah, just shut the fuck up and go to sleep. Nancy calls Glenn to tell him she knows who the killer is. Also, she's got another job for him.
I grabbed the guy in my dream. You see me struggling, so you wake me up.
Yeah, 'cause that worked so well last time.
Oh, and meanwhile, whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
And he's asleep. Good job, Glenn. I guess we know what's eating Gilbert Grape. Get it, Donnie? But he must not taste too good, 'cause he comes spitting back out. Next, Nancy goes all Kevin McAllister, rigging the house full of booty traps.
It's booby traps.
That's what I said. Booby traps. Freddy may have ruined her plan, but that's not gonna stop Nancy. She's a true badass finder girl. She don't need no man. Nancy sets her alarm and heads to the dream world to finally face down Krueger. Good thing for Nancy, Freddy's a theatrical guy, leading Nancy further into the boiler room. Which, you know, helps because she's on a time limit. Wouldn't really work if Freddy prematurely escalated. With time about to run out, Nancy tackles Freddy. Only to wake up in bed alone. I know the feeling, girlfriend. Holy shit. Yeah, now it's time to put those booty traps to the test.
Booby traps.
That's what I said, booby traps. Nancy yells out the window for help, to which Deputy Doofy here, I guess, doesn't think is out of the ordinary.
Maybe I better go tell the lieutenant.
You think? Freddy chases Nancy down into the cellar, where she proves like mother, like daughter, and she extra crispy fries his ass. Nancy's dad finally shows up, and she leads him to the cellar. But what's this? Freddy is gone, and he left a flaming trail behind him. All the way to Mother's room, where it seems Freddy is playing stepdad. And, what the fuck? What just happened? How? She just... Yep. Also, I love how she just waves. She's just like, bye. Nancy sends her dad downstairs, and oh man, Freddy comes rising out of the bed. This is it. It's gonna be awesome. The final showdown. Here we go. Wait, that's it? She just turns her back? Really? What the fuck?
God,
And wait, what? Huh?
it's bright.
So, yeah, it's morning now, and Glenn, Tina, and that dude again picked Nancy up for school. Everything seems normal. Or does it? Hell, I really don't know.
Hey, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. What's going on with the window?
And then one more jump scare. So, I guess Freddy won? Okay, yep, the end. So, what did you think, Donnie?
Could I sleep with you tonight?
No. Well, that was 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street, written and directed by the late great Wes Craven, giving birth to one of the most legendary slasher film villains and a whole bunch of sequels. Growing up, I loved this movie, and I still do. I think it holds up nicely, and Nancy was always one of my favorite final girls. And Freddy one of my favorite villains. He was so unique compared to others like Michael or Jason. He actually had character. He was like a bad 80s stand-up comic who also wanted to slice you into tiny pieces. My only gripe with the film is sometimes it's hard to discern what's happening in the dream world and in the real world, but I guess it kind of works in the context of the film. Anyway, I give A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 cocks out of 5.
Could I please sleep with you tonight?
Okay, fine. If you enjoyed this episode of
Midnight Monster Movie Review,
please peck that like button and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments what movies you'd like to see reviewed in the future. And until next time, I'm Rooster. Thanks for watching.